Justice League, the New 52, Volume 1. This one is called Origin, and this is how the Justice League came together as a group in the New 52 continuity. This one written by Jeff Johns and drawn by Jim Lee, so an star-studded cast of creators for this book. They really brought their best game for the New 52, and yeah, this book was very fun. I think that's the biggest takeaway. It's a very fun, blockbuster, action, fast-paced, very vibrant, very just going at all cylinders, just going at it. Just a very intense book. There's very little resting time. There's very little breathing room. It's kind of boom, 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 boom. Every issue, something new happens. It's very fast. And I think while it's a positive, I think in this book, it kind of makes it a negative because this book kind of takes place in the span of maybe 2 days, maybe just 1 day. Pretty much the entire Justice League forms in those few days or in those few hours. It's literally every issue a new member comes in and joins the fight, and that's kind of it. And it just goes so fast, and it's I kind of don't believe that it just happened this quickly where these heroes all of a sudden just happened to be there, and now they're just kind of stuck with each other now. And it's very fast. Every issue a new person comes in. It starts off with Green Lantern and Batman and Flash, and then Wonder Woman comes in, and then Aquaman comes in, and throughout all these books it also gives you Cyborg's origin, and at the end Cyborg comes in. So much things are happening at once where they're all fighting Darkseid, and Cyborg is being born, and these monsters are coming, and just everything is just happening all at once. And I feel like they'd really try to just cram as much stuff into this story. I don't know. I feel like it could have benefited from maybe having an extra 7th issue or 8th issue just to kind of spread everything out a bit more slower, because things just happen so fast in this book. Something else I noticed is just everyone is just kind of mean to each other. I kind of get it. They're just meeting each other for the first time. Personalities clash. I get that. But when it comes to Superman, he's kind of a dick in this book. He's very brash, and he's just a dick. And it's Superman, and that really kind of rubbed me the wrong way, how just dickish Superman was. Yeah, I don't know. The way he talked the way he talked to Batman and some other members of the team, it really was Superman. Also Green Lantern. Again, I'm not really a big Green Lantern reader, but he was really Hal Jordan was really a dick in this book, especially to Batman. Batman is a dick all the time, so that doesn't really matter. But everyone was just very mean to each other. So, and I assume in the next books they're not going to be as mean, but I was very taken aback how just uncharitable everyone was being to each other. One thing I do love about this book is the voice for Wonder Woman. I really like how Jeff Johns writes Wonder Woman. The way she speaks, the things she says, it's very you can really tell that she's not from this time period. This is not her, she's not used to this at all. Just the way she speaks, I really did like her delivery. She had some very, very memorable lines in this book. Out of everyone in this book, she's definitely the one that I got the most fun out of. The things she said, she got some great action moments. So I definitely would say that she was probably my favorite character in this specific book. So the main bad guy in this book is actually Darkseid. He comes in, and that's the guy that everyone is coming to fight. And I'm going to spoil the end of this book a bit. And the end of this book, I was kind of shocked by, because at the end of the 6 issues, but keep in mind, this is the first time that all these heroes are coming together. The first time they didn't even know Darkseid existed before this book. They're all coming together, and they end up, spoilers, defeating Darkseid. They smash him back into the portal, very similar to Zack Snyder's Justice League. They throw him in the portal. Cyborg does a crazy move. Let me see if I can find a proper thing. And yeah, and they pretty much banished Darkseid to the Shadow Realm, pretty much. And I don't know, I'm damn, this is the first time y'all, not only is it the first time you know about Darkseid, this is the first time y'all are teaming up. This is everyone in this book is super young. So this is so many firsts, and they beat him. And I know the last arc in this Justice League thing is Darkseid War. So you're telling me from now till Darkseid War, he's gonna come up better, and like I don't know, just like I'm shocked that they beat him now because he's kind of a bitch now. Like how do you get beaten by a bunch of people who have no like camaraderie, have no group sportsmanship or anything? They come together and they beat you. Like I kind of lost any respect I had for you. You know what I mean? So I don't know how he's gonna come back bigger and badder, because if they beat him once, they're gonna obviously beat him again. There was no challenge. There was barely a challenge. They beat him in 6 issues. So yeah, I don't know. That was, I was a bit shocked by that. So I'm very curious to see how that's gonna pan out in the future of this run. I feel like I've been kind of talking shit about this book, but honestly, overall, this is a very fun book. It was a fun read. I was whipping through pages. Like I was, it's quite a page turner. I'll tell you that. Jeff Johns definitely knows how to write a very cohesive story that keeps you very engaged and just wants, like, you want to read the next issue. Typically, I like to read like one issue a night, but I was reading like 2, 3 issues a night because I was just very invested in the story. Even though the characters were a bit hit or miss for me, the overall story was very fun, and I found this book very accessible, very readable. If you've never read a Justice League book, if you've never read a DC book, if this is your first superhero comic book ever, this is actually a fantastic pickup. This is honestly a great jumping on point. Seriously, like honestly to its own fault, because it's almost too much of a good jumping on point, because like so much gets crammed into this, where like you don't need any information whatsoever, and every single character will like you'll understand it. You'll understand it. So yeah, like I don't want to think on this book too much, because overall I think it definitely succeeded in its mission in the whole New 52 timeline, where we're starting from fresh, everything's starting back to the origins, and yeah, I think this definitely succeeded in its mission. Even though it was a bit sloppy execution-wise, it was still a very, 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 very fun book. And I can't finish talking about this book unless I talk about the art. The art is the absolute standout in this book. Like, every character is drawn just absolutely beautifully. The coloring is pretty solid. Yeah, shout out to Jim Lee, man. Like, he knows, like, damn, he knows how to draw. Like, look at this shark, man. What a, like, when Aquaman was like R farming, oh my gosh, crazy. The art definitely made up for a lot of the slight negatives I have in this book. But yeah, a fantastic book. An absolutely fantastically drawn book, for sure. Oh yeah. I love how he draws the Flash in this book. I love it. The Superman design, not the biggest fan of, but the Flash design, I love that. And look at the cover, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So yeah, like overall, a very solid read. I would definitely recommend it. Like if it's your first Justice League book, or you want to get into New 52, like it's a great jumping on point. Seriously, characters, I really hope they kind of fix their shit out for the next volume, because honestly, it's not a fan of how just, again, I totally get, they just met each other, they don't trust each other, they're kind of butting heads, I get that, but like just overly cynical. It's very overly cynical, especially Superman. Kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But I heard that's kind of how he is in this era. But whatever. Yeah, overall, I would say a solid like 7.5 out of 10. A very fun read. Overall, if I had to sum up this book in one word, it would be fun.